from season to season. You think about season 1, and Dean was really kind of the motivator. He was driving Sam from college and saying, "We got to go find Dad. We got to go do this." And then you turn around from in season 2, and it almost flips because then they're so deep into what they're doing. And Dean's like, "You know what? Maybe this was a good idea. Maybe we should back off. And now Dad's dead, and I don't really want to do this anymore." And Sam's like, "No, we got to keep going. We got to figure out what this means." So everything keep flip flopping. And I think whenever you have those motivational changes within a character, relationships are going to change, and that's just, I think that's just fallout from the storyline. But the writers know that the show is dependent on these two guys being together, so they're never going to keep this apart too long.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for coming. It's great to see you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
When, like you said, the relationship between Sam and Dean goes through kind of peaks and valleys and fights and makeup and all that kind of stuff. Is there ever any kind of relative relationship fodder with you and Jared? Like if you're Sam and Dean are pissed at each other, or
like
Jared,
like
a little bit. I mean, you guys, if you finish like a tough scene where you're ticking at each other when they yell cut, are you like, man, I just yelled at you for 30 minutes, or is it like, give me some space right now, I'll talk to you in a little while?
Yeah, not to the extent of like, we're at each other's throats by any means, but there is a little bit of, when we're doing a really intense scene and we're, up each other's faces and we're yelling and we're arguing, and then they yell cut. It's not, we don't keep that going, but there is a sense of like, I really don't want to talk to him right now, so I'm just going to kind of stay over here. And then I realized, hey man, so let's run these lines, buddy. So there's that kind of getting out of the scene mentality, or mental threshold just getting it over. I think Jared actually touched on that last week in LA, how sometimes he realizes that he's treating people differently when we're doing an intense scene. And he's like, well, that's ridiculous. I'm not a method actor. Why am I doing this? I think it's, there is a bit of that fallout. Hi.
Hi, I'm from Germany, and I have a question that may be spoilery to some of you, because it's about the last episode, Dark Side of the Moon.
Ooh, do we want to know about this? Got a few no's back there.
Oh, this no is intense. Jeez.
No. No. Well, why don't you give me a very unspoiler-like question?
I can't do that.
You can't do that.
No, so I don't know. So I already asked Jim the same question.
Oh, so you've already heard?
No, but he couldn't answer it. So I thought maybe you were in the episode, so maybe you could answer it.
Why don't you ask a question and then I'll clean up.
Okay, so in episode 14, we saw that Dean and Bobby put Sam into the and at the beginning of the last episode there was no reference at all. Sam was just out. What happened?
Oh, this is a really easy answer. It's not going to spoil anything. They flipped episodes 15 and 16.
Yeah, but it wasn't a reference in the episode. So Sam was just out. It wasn't a reference in episode 15.
Well, now you confused me. Do I need to handle this one? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Because the last episode started in the motel room and they were like, anything else?
You know what? I honestly don't know. It's funny when you get towards the end of a season, all of the episodes start to run together. Because there's no breaks. It's not like we shoot an episode and then take a week off and come back and shoot another episode. So in fact, sometimes we're shooting, like one day we'll be doing a scene for episode 15, and then we'll go to a different soundstage and shoot a scene that we didn't get in episode 14, and then come back and continue shooting. But for me, I'm just working that day. So to separate the stories for me is I think it's a little hazy towards the end of the season, so I can't recall right now, but...
So because I was really confused because of the...
Well, now I'm confused.
Episode 14, Dean was crying and begging for help from God or someone else. And it was such an intense moment, and I thought, wow, the next episode would be awesome because Sam would have to get rid of the demon blood once again and everything. And then there was a cut and just the hotel room and nothing, no reference at all. So I was like,
Really?
yeah.
Are you all confused?
Yeah.
Well, that makes all of us. I really don't know. I wish I had an answer for that. Did you ask Jared that question? I should call Jared. No, he's on. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I wish I could answer your question. Yeah, I'll make it. Yeah. Yeah, because now I'm wondering what the heck's going on. I'll show you what I
Maybe the
know.
next interview you're doing, you can ask.
Yeah, okay. Be like, listen, there was a little confusion going on. Let me just clear something out. Thank you. All right. I hate that. I don't have an answer. It's rough. It really is, you know, we like to call that being in a pickle. That wasn't nearly as funny as I thought it would be. Any questions over there, or are you guys just standing? No? Really? That's it? See you later. I'm just kidding. No. Hi.
I'm Alana, and I wanted first to say to Jensen that his show design was amazing. Songs, and I wanted to tell you that I also love your cover of Hallelujah, which is a big song to sing. Jensen, you mentioned your theater experience. I know you were in a play in the Bello Village, and I wanted to know how that experience made you grow as an actor. How was it? How it was, and if you like other projects with you.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I did a play a few years ago in between season 2 and 3. I did A Few Good Men, written by Aaron Sorkin. It was also made into a movie starring Tom Cruise and Jensen, Kevin Bacon, and a whole bunch of other people. But I did the on-stage play with Lieutenant Phillips, and it was, I'd never done professional theater. I'd only done television and film. And so the opportunity kind of came to me. My phone rang and they said, hey, listen, there's, you know, they're offering you to be in the play. And at first I'm like, what? No, I'm not a theater guy. I haven't done stage, I'm not trained. And then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? That's precisely why I should do it, because it's uncomfortable and it's not familiar. And I like to do things that, you know, challenge myself. And I had confidence enough in myself that I could just figure it out and I could do it. And once I got it was done in Fort Worth, Texas. And once I got down there and I studied the 126-page play, I realized that I was in about 110 pages of it. I called I called Danielle, my fiance, and I said, I've bitten off way more than I can chew. I don't think I can do this. I don't know what I've got myself into. And she gave me some words of encouragement, and I stuck with it. And then about 4 days out, it just kind of all clicked. And I got it. And I got on stage, and the reviews were good. And I you know, did the performance. You came and saw it. And did a great job. But it was something that challenged me and that I wasn't familiar with, which is why I did it. And I'm glad I did, because I learned a lot about, you know, a different aspect of my career, and I'll be able to use that.
Any other project inside with the theater?
No other stage projects right now. It's, you know, there's this little show called Supernatural.